Hello, everyone. Welcome to the weekly meeting of the Phrancko Sweater Knitters. And we're happy to see you all here, and we're happy to have you all visit by viewing the video later. I know there are some of you who do that every week, and we really appreciate that as well, especially giving a nod to you, NY Knitter, because you comment almost every week. Thank you for paying attention and enjoying our meetings. So anyone is welcome to join this meeting who is interested in knitting a Phrancko sweater, or if you've ever started or are working on a Phrancko sweater. A Phrancko sweater is one that you generate a pattern for at Phrancko.com, spelled Phrancko.com. And the pattern you generate there is custom fit to your measurements using the gauge yarn and needles that you have used to create a swatch. Hi, Serena.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Sidra.
Frank.
Hi, Ron.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Judith.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Rana. No microphone today, Rana. We'll try to pay attention to the chat.
Oh.
So how is everyone this week?
Good. Hi.
And hello to you, Karen.
Hello. I'm hot.
Yeah, we keep getting excessive heat warnings in Florida, but it's normal Florida weather, I think. So it's worse in other places.
Our heat starts tomorrow, and then for like 3 or 4 days, and we'll be in the triple digit for the first time, I think, this summer. I know Ron is laughing at us.
It's August. How are you barely getting your triple digits?
Pacific Northwest. What do you want?
I'll give it a few years. I'm sure it'll start in May by then.
Hey, when it's in the low 80s, we're hot here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my friend in Louisiana said they broke a record from 1800s. They're getting in triple digits, so I don't know how they do it with the humidity. Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
But it's bad everywhere. Poor Ron.
I'm acclimated. So I think it's worse on people who don't have this kind of weather regularly to suddenly get it out of nowhere. Like this, like you were saying, this is just weather. Like this is what the air feels like.
Speaking of being hot, I'm hot in the sweater, so I'm going to go open a window because it's actually kind of cool in San Francisco. I'll be right back.
Oh, lucky guy.
Oh, mean thing to say. Open a window.
Not a chance here.
Joy.
Meanwhile, Ron, I would like to ask you a question regarding how do you call it? Natural dye?
Oh, sure.
Since you dye yarn, I'm not sure you use plants or.
I have experimented with that before, but I certainly don't do it to scale because of the sheer amount of water consumption.
Ah, bon? Okay. Because I bought some yarn at Knit City, and it was dyed with logwood.
Oh, yeah.
Which makes a beautiful purple yarn. But it bleeds. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, it bleeds. Although natural dyes are also prone to a particular type of quote unquote bleeding that in English anyway is more properly called crocking.
Crocking?
Crocking, yeah. you know, if you get like a brand new pair of like blue jeans that rub like, and the color like rubs off on your hands,
Right.
about the pH of your hands and the chemicals of the human body cause those dyes to come off. So they wouldn't necessarily come off on other things, but they come off on you, and that's called crocking.
Well,
I'd be happy to talk to you about it a bit more after I go greet some customers.
oh,
So
maybe
I'll be
later.
back soon.
Okay. We'll see you soon.
Sure. Oh, hello.
Well, hi, Cindy. You snuck in here while we were having a little
Hi, Frank. Sounded good. Sounded interesting.
Well, maybe you have an opinion also about plants.
What is it?
Oh, I was asking Ron about logwood dying.
Yeah, logwood is one that comes off.
It's terrible. I did not know that.
No, it's not terrible, and it does stop after a while.
Well, I've rinsed my yarn, my not skeins. How do you call it? Hang? No, stop.
Right?
And it
And
won't
it still
stop.
does it.
It's blue. It's blue. It's blue. It never clears. The water's never clear.
Did you have excess dye, do you think, for how much
Yes, I'm sure
how
there was
much
excess.
wool you had? So then that's the excess coming out still.
I don't understand. How would I measure how much excess?
Well, I don't know how you measure how much excess, but when you dye, or at least
Oh
when
no, I
I
didn't
did a
buy
long
it myself. I
Oh,
bought
somebody
it.
else did. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And I was
But-
told by the person who sold it that the dyer did not rinse properly or the yarn.
Mhm.
But there was still some, little bits of logwood in the yarn.
Oh, yeah. It was
So
over dyed. I would have to look up how to get rid of that or how to redo it. I
Well,
heard the last little bit of Ron saying crocking, but that sounds like maybe even more than crocking. Do you think, Ron, or
yes,
just
yeah.
over
How is
dyed?
that?
I didn't hear. I had to go and greet
Oh,
some
sorry.
customers. So
Well, she said there was like pieces of logwood and stuff still in it and
Oh.
everything else. So I think it's like,
just I had it on the screen very quickly. You could re-mordant it and soak it with the chemical it needs to bond. And the mordant for logwood is alum.
Yes.
So you could soak it in alum water and then give it a nice bath.
yeah, like I don't know how much yarn it is, but I like when I have rinsed something like that really needs a lot. I mean, it's like you just put it in a bathtub with a lot of water and do it,
Don't
not
want to
just
put
to
that
sink
in
with.
the bathtub. It stains.
Well, we have a horse
finished
trough. We've
horse-
used that before too. So
Yeah,
well,
Tractor
I'm not
Supply
joking.
Co.
We really have.
when I
we have like a 300-gallon horse trough, so it's like, I mean, you could use it for a hot tub. We joke about it. We have
okay,
not ever used it for a hot tub, but you could use it if you want, because it's really one of those really, really big ones. Because they have the real big drafts at the barn.
I've had yarn events here. We have like box stuffer events or like pick your mix kind of events where we put the yarn in a big trough we got at the Tractor Supply.
Exactly, yes, like that. But I mean, you can also use a big garbage can,
Yeah,
have a clean
that's what
garbage
I
can
have.
and use a big garbage can and do that, a 5-gallon bucket,
Yeah.
all
I have
those.
a big plastic bucket that I used to soak it at first and rinse and rinse and rinse and rinse, getting no better results. So
Mhm.
I asked the person, because I have a white yarn, that I wanted to use it with. So I said, that won't work. And she said, no worries. The color won't stick to the white yarn because it has not had, there was no mordant applied to the white yarn. So the blue color or purple color won't stick to the white yarn. So I've made a small test. It's let's say almost true.
Yeah, see, that's mine. Is it's kind of like it's almost, it's like you're still going to see some color with that.
Yes.
I think what Ron was saying about remordant with the alum.
It
Yeah,
takes about
and-
20 grams of alum per 100 grams of yarn. And
Oh.
this is one of the main reasons I don't do much with natural dyes.
Okay,
They
I understand.
require a lot of materials, and they eat up a lot of water. And I'm in a drought-prone area. It just doesn't make good sense to me to do it here. But remordanting with alum and rinse and rinse and rinse and rinse and rinse and rinse and rinse.
Yeah, I didn't think of that, and I'm surprised the seller did not think of suggesting this, but I knew you would have the answer.
I have an answer. Is it the answer? I don't know. But
Oh,
an
an
answer.
Well,
Answer.
it's
A
a
starting
answer that
point.
will work. That's what we're
Well,
looking
it's
for.
better
A answer
than-
that will work.
Yeah, it's better than no solution at all. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna try it. I'll buy some
Okay.
out.
And I'm off.
So you can just get there at the grocery store, and then I think you can use it for pickles
Okay.
afterwards if you want.
I'm at the bottom of
At the grocery store, you can buy alum.
Alum, in with like
Oh.
the spices things. Use it in the
Mm.
grocery store.
Great.
But not after you've used it on the wall.
No, not after you've used it on the wool. Throw it out after that. But it's like a little white powder.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Can't talk right now. I'm on a Zoom.
Your Amazon package is there.
I know, I got it.
Bye.
I hope that was some yarn.
No. Sorry.
That's fine. We all get Amazon packages, I assume. I do.
I don't very often.
If not all of us, I would say a lot of us do at one point or the other.
Oh, yeah.
It's so sad that some people still have to work for a living. Unlike me and Kathy.
Well, I used to, but I haven't for quite a while.
Yeah.
Some of us like working.
Well, I liked working when I worked.
I've been retired 2 weeks and I don't know how I worked.
I knew that was going to happen.
Like, where did I ever find time to work? Kathy, did Frank tell you that he tried to come on Thursday?
Yes, he texted.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, the one time. Well, I don't have my phone with me. The one time.
Well, I know. I think that's the one time that you never have had it. I think since I
The only
started
time.
coming. I mean, it's like it's the only time.
And I would have had it, but we were heading home that day, going across Kansas, and I just wasn't sure I would have reception. Because for a lot of Western Kansas, there is none.
This is
It's one of
I
those
thought
places
you
you
were
can't get there from here, right?
Yeah, or maybe you just don't want to.
That too.
So you didn't take August off then? I thought you said you were taking August off, or was that just Monday?
That's just the Monday.
Oh,
Monday will start up again because that's the knit along session. And then
Oh, okay.
Thursday is just chit chat.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we always have that except for this past Thursday.
And Monday's not starting up again right away, you said.
Right.
It's
Not till
starting up
September.
in September.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we're
'cause
doing Phrancko sweaters.
the
So-
Monday is for the knit along,
Mhm,
right? Yeah.
mhm. Yeah. And I
So
have-
tell us about the new designs for the Phrancko sweater knit along. Can you tell us a little sneak peek?
Oh, me? Sure.
Yes, you're the only one that would know.
Well, Serena's actually making it. So one is a tweed, and it's a pullover, and it's an interesting rib 3x7, and then it morphs into an eyelet lace pattern that goes all the way around from the waist down, and then around the bottom of the sleeves as well. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, that would be pretty. And then the other one's an intarsia cardigan, vertical striped in multiple colors.
Sumner's the only one that's going to do that.
That's
I can tell you after doing this little teeny weeny bit of sock that I will not be doing intarsia anything ever again.
I like it. I think it's
Not
fun.
unless it gets a whole, well, no, I'm going to do the, I take that back, Frank. I am going to do the butterfly. I can do that. The butterfly is bigger. This is like little Twinkie sock yarn that I'm driving myself crazy with.
Oh, the
Argyle sock.
socks. Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
using Frank's set-in sleeves for the cardigan too?
I might dip my toe into intarsia. We'll see.
So
Well,
Catherine,
there's a
you're
lot
gonna
of people
share
that really like it, and
pattern.
I think it's beautiful. I just
It
have
is.
to. I have to think a lot more.
Well, as
Yeah.
I've said a few times, I find intarsia in the round on a very small thing like a sock is harder than on a
It
big
is. I would
body
think
like
it
a
is harder
sweater.
than something big where you actually could get going, and could actually knit
Yeah,
something.
most
mine is
most of
like
a sweater,
5
most of it's
stitches,
a
do a
normal.
single color. 3 stitches, do a single color.
And a stripe, vertical striping is easier than something like the butterfly too.
Right. Yes.
It's not
Oh
hard.
yeah.
Quick. It's pretty quick. Anyhow, that's what we're doing. It'll be fun.
Good.
And then I'm both of the samples are for me, so I'm very excited about that.
Oh, yay.
So I have 2 new sweaters to go to the Shetland Islands. So
That would be wonderful.
And that starts September 11th, right? I think we found out. Very good.
1 o'clock Pacific. What would that be? Eastern. 4 o'clock Eastern.
Oh, I think, 3 hours difference.
Don't make me lie. I have to go pull out my cheat sheet.
Why is that?
I have to pull out my cheat sheet for time zones because I'll get confused.
Oh,
So I have a little map of the US with the little clocks.
I've learned to just count across the country because I'm now in the West Coast. So if it's 2:30 here, it's 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30. So those are the 4 time zones. So you just count across the country.
That's how I do it, Frank.
Me too.
But then,
Well, I try to do it.
I
but
just
it
Google.
fails.
yeah. But then you want to answer a question like, what time zone is St. Louis, Missouri in? I don't know.
Central.
Or any other town in the middle of the US.
Yeah.
Well, Karen, you should show us what you're working on.
I'm trying to finish this. I have 6 repeats left of the edging, and each repeat takes about an hour. I mean, it's so close to being done.
Wow.
So I'm trying to just make it happen.
It's so pretty.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And then
Hold it
And
very
then I'll-
still. If you could hold it very still, it'll video better
let's see.
in any orientation.
There we go.
Ah, yes.
Oh, beautiful.
Jeez, look at that.
Beautiful.
Wow.
That
This is
so
the
pretty.
knit on edging.
Yes.
It's yeah.
And it's got the beautiful beads in it.
Oh, and the beads were
Mhm.
so much fun. I might have to do that again. So I want to get something off my needles because I've got 3 or 4 projects going, and I signed up for another shawl knit along, so I want
You can't sign up for too much because we want you in our knit along.
I want to do that. That's at the top of my list. But I signed up for this this Lace Lovers Club with Romy Hill. It goes for a year long, and she sends you a kit 3 times in that year, and you get the kit, and then she releases the pattern, and it's like, okay, go. So, but the yarn is this beautiful. I don't know how she hit this. It's like a Barbie pink, but a little on the orangey side. I don't know how she hit that just right, because she had to plan it probably a year ago. And that's way before the Barbie movie came out, but it looks just like all this Barbie pink that's coming out. I'll go get it in a minute, but I actually like it, and I'm not a hot pink person, but I love it. So it's lace weight. It's 875 yards in 100 grams, so it's pretty fine.
Wow.
Whoa.
And are all of the knit-alongs shawls? Are they all shawls?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lace. It's a It's
Yeah.
a shawl club. Hmm.
Kathy, you said in your knit along, one of them is a cardigan.
One
Or
is a
both?
cardigan and one is a pullover.
And what technique are you using to create the cardigan? Are you
That's-
steeking? Hmm?
No, it's the Phrancko.
Well, the Phrancko doesn't have a cardigan, so
Oh, well, it's a Phrancko that I used your code and put it on the business.
yes.
And turned it into a
So it's knitted. It's not steeked, in other words.
not steep. It's just an open
I
cardigan.
see. Okay.
And that's why I thought, well, this would be better for Intarsia. It's easier just to do flat.
Absolutely. That's why I was asking. I was wondering if you were doing Intarsia in the round on that.
Mm-mm. No.
Intarsia can be so fun because you can be so creative with the colors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, like this.
Oh yeah,
Ah,
true.
Yes,
true.
like that.
I
Or
actually
like
have-
this little weeny one, which is not going to be the gauge, I know, but I will show. This is how far I am so far.
oh,
I'm a little weeny sock. But I am
Oh,
knitting the little cross
Wow,
ones, so
you're
we'll
doing
see.
it though.
I am doing it.
I
So
can't
we'll
even
see.
see the stitches, Cindy. They're so tiny.
It's on 1.5, and I'm using the Cascade Yarns 220 fingering. So it is a fine yarn.
Pretty.
I'm so proud of you for getting that started.
Oh yeah, started. Finishing is going to be the thing. I did finish my other one, my wristlet.
Oh, it's
There
so
it is, blocked
nice.
on the exactly correct size jar. Because I read in Ravelry of people that theirs was not accepted, or they got comments or it was bad because they blocked it on a water bottle that was too big. So I was not going to have that happen to me.
Did they tell you
So, I
exactly
did
what
it.
size jar to use?
No, they didn't say what size jar, but they said, it has to be a particular circumference and a particular width.
Ah.
And so I went around with the measuring tape. This is how weird I am. Measuring vases, water bottles, candles, things out of the refrigerator, whatever I could think of that was round and it has to be 3.5 inches tall to get the right size.
That is so smart.
Now, this is only for people that will watch this Phrancko thing. Do not put a message in it, but it is the horseradish jar. That is the correct size. So
Suddenly
all
there will be
blocked.
there'll be a run on horseradish in the grocery store.
I know, I'm running
Because
for
she said
president.
that.
It'll be going on eBay for hundreds of pounds just to get the right size.
That's right.
So anyway, it was funny, but I found it and got it, and so it's like I'm doing that, and then I'm doing then started on the little sock. So we'll see. Getting there.
Oh, good luck.
Thank you.
Well, shall we talk about the yoked sweater, Judith?
Oh yeah.
I'm back. I had to run downstairs. It
Oh, I
started
didn't. I'm sorry, I didn't notice because I was talking with Cindy.
Hi.
Anyway, so Judith graciously agreed to test knit the yoked pattern, and that has been quite an interesting experience. She has found a number of things that were unclear, and I was able to clarify them in the pattern. There may have been things that were wrong. Yes, there was a calculation that wasn't right. Anyway, we have had an interesting week going back and forth, making fixes to the pattern. And now we've both started our sweater, but just today we are talking about whether we might have to rip back out and start over again. But so I'm not ready to decide that yet. Why don't I put us on the spotlight? Judith, you don't mind, do you? Wait, where'd you go? I lost you, Judith. Oh, there you are. There. So here's what I've got so far.
And you're doing the color work.
I'm doing the color work and the line by line instructions. That's the back with a higher neckline. And this is the front. With the lower neckline. And what I'm doing now is I have put the yoke on hold, and I'm doing the ribbing of the neckline because I want to see if the neckline is going to fit properly. This is a big problem with this sweater pattern, I think. And Judith thinks hers might be too large too. Let's see how you're doing, Judith. How's it coming?
I would have to put my work on a strand of something, but I can show you. I didn't do a color work yet.
No, that's all right.
But it's so crunched. Hold on, keep talking, and I'll transfer it on something because it's too cramped.
We had a discussion about the short rows and compared a couple of different suggestions that different books made about the short rows for a yoke, and they seem to disagree. Some say that the short row should just be across the back. Some say it should wrap around and start in the front and then go around the back to the front on the other side. If we do that, then the saddles are affected, and I don't want to have that happen. So I've written the pattern to just be from the back of the saddle to the back of the saddle on the other side. And I'm hoping that that will be a good solution. If the short rows have to cross over the saddle, then that's going to affect how many rows there are from the neckline to the shoulder. As you see it, the short rows will then add to the number of rows you've got there. So I'll have to adjust the pattern. And as it's currently written, a person can put in more short rows or fewer short rows, and it doesn't affect the fit of the sweater. If they want a higher back or a lower back or whatever. And so I really want to be able to do it like that. if it comes over the saddle, then the pattern is going to have to account for the number of rows and count on there being a set number of rows to calculate all of the rows around the saddle. So it gets more complicated for the program and less variable for the knitter to make other decisions about what they want.
That seems strange that they'd want to put the short rows on the side there too. It's like, I don't understand why that would, I mean, I get because it's like, if you look at a person from the side, your neck comes out of the front of your body, you know, your neck and head is out there. And so you want the back to be longer, but your shoulders, I don't know why you would want that part longer.
So I just test knit a sweater, and actually the very first short row there were only 4 stitches in the front of the sweater that weren't in that first short row. That's how long it was.
It went all the way around to 4 stitches from the front? Really?
Yeah. And then the second time it went, it was 5 stitches less.
Wow.
And there were like 4 or 5 of those. So, and it seems to look fine.
How many, I'm sorry, you say 4 or 5, is that 4 or 5, which is 2 rows for each one? So it was really 8 or 10 rows? Every short row adds two rows to the.
Yeah, it was two of the all the way. So, I mean, one short row would be going all the way around and back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so how many times did it do that?
So 4, I think, possibly 5. I'm kind of vague.
I see. Yeah.
This is the sweater here. I think it makes it a more subtle wedge. I don't know if you can see it. But so this is the sweater. I don't know how to make it so you can see it, but the short rows are in this solid section.
Is that the back or the front?
This is the front.
Okay.
And then this is the back.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think you can really see anything, but
no, you can't, but that's all right. We get the idea.
I think if the short rows don't go past the arms, you could tend to get, I just thinking about it, you would tend to get bunching because the wedge is too, I mean, you're putting a wide wedge in too short of a piece of fabric.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I've waked up in the middle of the night and thought about this and said that can't work, and convinced myself it had to come around to the front. And then we found a source that said, no, they can just be on the back. So if we can get away with it, that's what I prefer.
Can you put it down lower so it's not getting involved in the saddle shoulder?
That's interesting.
Good. Some patterns do that after the yoke. After the yoke.
Put the short rows after the yoke. That seems like it would just mess up the whole fit of the underarms to me. Wouldn't that push up the back of the sweater and make the underarms go up in the back or something?
I'm trying to think if they do it before they split for the underarms or after. You could do it before you split, maybe. I'm
That's
not sure.
More complicated than doing it over the saddles. That if you go to the round to the front, then that's going to affect what we're doing on the sleeve caps. So that would be really, really a mess. Really complicated, I mean.
That would be hard to program.
Yeah.
You'll have to get one of those short row books. There's a couple of good short row books written. I can't remember who the authors are, but
I have a couple of yoke books I've found, and I didn't know there were short row books. Oh wait, yes, I do. There's Myrna. What's her name? Myrna wrote a book of short rows, but I don't think it's about yokes. It's about just short row patterns on the sweater.
Let's see. Okay, there's this one I've heard is good. And that's, oh, it's backwards, sorry. It's
No,
by,
it was right. Knitting short rows, it said.
It's by Jennifer Dassau. Let me see if was another I've heard about. That's the one I hear about. That's the only one I can think of right now.
Okay, great. I'll take a look at that, see what we learn.
But you're right, it's not that wide. The neck opening is not that wide.
You think when you, Judith was saying her neck opening seemed pretty wide, but for one thing, it's curled down, right? Isn't it curled? So if you push it up, it's narrower.
Right.
And if you add an inch of ribbing to that pulls it in, because the ribbing pulls it in.
Yeah.
It might
shouldn't
be
be.
okay.
I think it shouldn't be as bad as I thought it looked on the needles. But
Yeah, it
that's
doesn't look like it's like falling off your shoulders or any of that sort of stuff. It looks like it's fitting well that way, Judith.
Did you work that according to the pattern, or did you skip a few rows at the start like we talked about? No?
I skipped one instruction of short rows.
Oh, well, that wouldn't affect the neckline.
No.
You didn't skip any that go all the way around.
No, I did everything as instructed except for the short rows. So yeah.
Well, it's looking good.
It is. That's the first time I'm trying it. I wanted to wait till I got to the sorry, the sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're live. Why wait?
That's right.
Here's one by Carol Filler.
Yeah, I was just typing that into the chat.
Yeah, it says, this workshop in a book demystifies short row knitting, an easy method for creating perfectly shaped shoulders, bust darts, hands, and other three-dimensional elements. She walks you through every step.
20 Learn as You Knit projects by Carol Feller.
Oh.
Well, we are prepared to rip it all out and start again, aren't we, Judith?
We are. Good soldier. No, I really am. I didn't think that. Well, I've never made a pattern that I didn't have to rip some part of it. So it's part of the process.
I find that too most of the time. That's why I like to knit patterns twice, because I know it so well the second time. And it's just so smooth. It's just, I was always a little puzzled that people wanted to go to the next new thing. And if you like it and you enjoy it, knit 10 of them.
Rana just asked what type of increase I used. I used lifted increase. No, wait, lifted.
Yes, the pattern doesn't specify what kind of increase to do. It actually tells you that you can do them in random places, or if you want to divide it into 3 sections on the front and 3 sections on the back, plus the 2 saddle shoulders and sleeve caps. Then you put them all together in the certain locations that you are marked. But it doesn't say what kind of increase to do, because I thought that might be up to the knitter in this case. I'm thinking of this pattern as being more less specifically, this is the sweater you should knit kind of a pattern, to here is a blank pattern that you can add your design to. And so it probably is for more advanced knitters. That's how I'm thinking of it anyway. You said you used lifted increases, Judith?
That's right.
I did too. And did you put them next to the markers, or did you put them in random locations? Looked like you might have put them next to the markers.
Well, I left. I did the increase. Knit 1 stitch, slip the marker, knit 1 stitch, make the other increase.
I see.
I didn't make them right next to each other. And did you do them both?
I'm doing, I do an increase, slip the marker, and then do the other increase. And if you do the first one left lifted, and then the following one right lifted, you're not fighting with the same stitch.
Right.
So they work together that way. It's just
that.
one possibility. I don't I don't know that that's the best idea. I know that make one right, make one left would work if you put a stitch in between them, or 2 stitches in between them, as you did. Of course, you can't make one right and a make one left between the same 2 stitches. That doesn't work. At least I don't know that I think it doesn't work.
I don't think so.
You guys are hurting my brain.
My brain's been hurting ever since I started this design. So there you go.
So Frank, when you started this yoke sweater, did you think you were just going to knock it out like all the rest of yours?
I did. I thought this was just going to be, I know how to do this yoke now. And I had no idea that it was the yoke that was going to cause me problems. The yoke and the short rows, stuff that people have been doing all along, is what's causing me problems. And the part I was adding was how to turn the arc in the front to straight across rows. We haven't even gotten to that yet. Oh, and Sidra says, yes, I was referring to Myra Woods for the Short Row Patterns book. Knitting in New Directions, I think, is the name of her book. Like that.
I think it is. Cool.
But it's not so much about all the different ways to use short rows, which these other books seem to be. It seems to be more like, here are the amazing things you can do with short rows, color-wise.
Okay.
But she's the one who taught me to do short rows, and I use wrap and turn short rows now for almost everything, even though I was using German short rows. I mean, I say she taught me. I was in a class of hers, and she taught a technique I thought was really great, and I did a video, and I give her credit for that. I tell her in the video, I say I learned this from Myrna Woods, and I just wanted to share the technique because I thought it wasn't something I've heard anybody else talk about, and that is when you're on the right side of the fabric and you want to wrap the stitch, you slip it knitwise, so it twists the stitch. So then when you come back to it later to pick up the wrap, it's you just knit both the wrap and the stitch through the back, and it just works perfectly.
That's a great idea. I didn't know about that either.
Yeah.
You haven't watched Frank's video?
Not all of them. I've watched it.
Well, dang.
How dare you?
Shame on me.
Imagine coming to a Phrancko meeting and not having watched all of my videos.
I know. I think it's heretical, actually.
Oh dear.
So am
Now you all have homework to do.
Oh dear.
I'm teacher's pet because I've already done them all.
But I've only been retired 2 weeks.
True. So you have a pass for at least another week or two, Kathy.
Last week I was taking care of my parents for 4 days, and I'm very tired today.
Oh, yeah.
I've got to get a hold of a social worker, I think is the solution there. They're about 90.
Gosh.
9.
A lot of times through their doctor's office, they can connect you with a social worker.
Yes. I'm on the list of people to talk to now, so that's good. And yes, Monday I'll call and deal with that. I went on a weekend where I didn't deal with that.
I know. Sometimes you just have to shut down.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Oh, wow. I am whizzing along. I have done one row. It's been 45 minutes, but I have done one row.
Aren't you glad you chose a fingering weight yarn?
Oh, yes. It says it's supposed to be. It doesn't. It says it's supposed to be fingering or lace weight. I did not choose lace. Let me look up the
Yeah, I guess there was a regulation.
Out, Frank. Now you're making me wig out, Frank.
No, I think you're right. You're right.
Which pattern is that?
This is the Argyle sock for level 2.
Oh, okay. Oh,
the sock should be worked using number 1 super fine or number 2 fine weight yarn. I'm just following instructions, Frank.
I see.
I'm driving myself crazy, but I'm following instructions.
Yeah.
You're talking TKGA.
TKGA.
Yeah, this is the Master Hand Knitter program we're talking about, and Cindy is finishing up level 2 of 3 levels.
Amazing.
It's really fun how much there is to learn. And with the program, there's things that it's like, I know I wouldn't have tried without it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, I have to figure out how to do this. Oh, I have to research this.
And I'll put a plug in for the design certification. It's really interesting too, I think. I'm about halfway through the second module. And it's really interesting.
And that's Donna Eston. Mm-hmm. She is just fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have to go. You guys have a great week.
No.
You too.
Bye.
Last birthday party.
Hi, Kathy.
Bye, Kathy.
Bye.
Enjoy your birthday party for whoever it's for.
One of my sisters.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
So Ron must have gotten taken up with a customer in his shop.
Yeah.
Hope he's making lots of money.
So who else wants to show us what they're working on?
I'll show you some progress on my musical scarf. It's coming along.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you can see.
Oh, you're getting a lot done on that.
Look
Wow.
at it. Wow.
Because last week you were just on the treble clef. You were just finishing the treble clef. Yeah.
So we're just about a quarter of the way through now.
A quarter?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, that's a really long scarf.
It's a whole song, Frank.
Yes. It is.
You didn't mean you just finished a quarter note?
I've got some quarter notes, yes.
I just
so when
had the
you're-
most
when you're-
amazing set of customers. It was such a good time. I wish I could have brought them in here to meet you all, but I kept them. A mother and daughter. The mother is out here visiting her daughter. She is a native Londoner now in Manchester. And her daughter teaches philosophy. She just finished her first year at the university here. And so she was out visiting her daughter and brought her to the yarn shop. And we just had a great time. Her mother is a French teacher. So we got to have a nice long linguistics chat. It was really just a beautiful interaction. That's the sort of thing that makes it really fun to own a yarn shop.
Oh, nice.
I found the yarn.
Yeah.
Oh, here.
This is the yarn
Gorgeous.
for the shawl clip, the lace lovers clip.
Wow.
Pretty. Yes.
What is the
So
fiber?
It's, let's see, it's silk. I know it's got
Yeah,
superwash. Superwash BFL, 55%, 45% silk.
Yeah, I thought it looked
That's
like a lot of silk with the sheen that it's got.
BFL is also quite lustrous.
Yeah,
Oh.
BFL is lustre too. So I'll show you the pattern. It's so gorgeous. I hope I can do it.
Of course you can. What do you mean?
He was helping with customers.
Let's see. There it is. It's like this.
Oh my.
Wow. I know, crazy.
Oh,
How fun is that?
Oh.
Wow.
wow.
It's got, you start out making a circle, and then you turn the circle into a square, and then then you make and then it turns into a V shape from there. So you do a wing on the left and a wing on the right, and it ends up being V shaped.
Wow.
Wow.
That's the one that's supposed to take a year in the knit along.
Well, that's one of 4 we're supposed to do in a year. The first one has taken me 3 months. So, but it's not quite as much yarn, almost though, 775 yards.
Well, don't the beads slow it down a bit?
Yeah, they do. They do. Well worth it though, I think.
I've never done beads yet.
Neither have I.
That looks like it's going to be beautiful.
I wish I knew someone who wanted a shawl, because I just don't see it's practical for myself, but I make it for somebody else.
If you go to the movies, and it's
Oh.
cold in there.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, there's a puppy
Oh yeah.
behind you.
Ziggy was
Yeah.
helping me with the customers, trying to turn on the charm. I think he needs to sell a couple
Oh.
extra skeins. He's pulling his weight today.
Does he work on commission?
Dog treats at an hourly rate. His union is very particular.
Mhm.
I've been working on this big Tunisian crochet project.
Gosh.
Oh,
Goodness, it's
my.
beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Love it.
So
Look at that.
Wow.
yeah,
Oh my goodness, Ron. That is gorgeous.
corner.
Yeah.
So what's my orientation? Yes, this is the top edge. And so it goes down to the point. So it's asymmetrical right now. And then this edge will get finished with short rows to make it a symmetrical triangle. This stitch pattern is my favorite.
That's lovely.
I love that. I love the colors, and I just love the symmetry of it. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah, so I like the balance of it. Just like full
Yes.
geometrical lines, but in an asymmetrical shape. So those like contrasting ribbons. Oh, Tim, you have something?
Did you sketch?
Hi,
Oh,
Tim.
oh my gosh, Tim, that's darling.
Look
Oh.
Little
at
I
sheep.
want one.
I want one too.
She's making one for my mother now, who made a very particular request. So here's a sheared one. The
That's
little
cute.
beady
Oh,
eye.
Oh,
beady
so
eyes.
cute.
That's darling.
So that's what Tim's been up to.
Very nice. I think it's not always easy to give them such a pleasant face. Sometimes they,
Yeah, he was looking like the book. In the book, they're very nicely made, photographed very well, but with like perfectly symmetrical ears. And he's no, they need to be like personality. They need to look like they have thoughts and feelings. So,
and Ron, your shawl, did you sketch it or did you just have it in your head and went, oh wait,
a bit of each.
Okay.
So I sketched out the shape that I knew I wanted to begin with. Because I planned out when I improvise things like this, the only thing that I dead set on planning from the beginning is the shaping.
Okay.
And I know that the stitch counts the stitch patterns need to be about the same gauge. But this is a non-superwash wool, so it will block out if there are slight differences. So I made a picture of the shape that I wanted it to be. And then I just started coloring it in and making things and just like putting patterns on it that I thought would look cool. And I just doodled in both ways. I just doodled on my iPad and doodled with the yarn. There are a few places where I got like 4 rows in and went, and then did something else. But that's how I work as a designer. I'm in the writing community, people are often arrange themselves into planners and pantsers. People who go into a project with a plan, and people who go in by the seat of their pants and just make it work. And I'm like, maybe right here. I do some planning. I set myself up a framework. It's hard to create without any rules whatsoever, but I just set myself some rules, and then within those, I do better.
Interesting.
It's
It's
really
good to
pretty.
see you again, Ron.
I've been busy, but I'm glad to be back. I've been looking forward to today all week, and then I missed most of the meeting, but I did get to work with wonderful customers, so that was beautiful.
And anybody heard from Walter?
No, haven't heard from him in weeks.
Yeah.
He was busy, moving in or I don't know. His sister died, and he was real busy involving the house project and whatever. So I suspect he just got really busy with that.
We haven't seen Will either, but I think he was traveling.
Oh.
I know he was saying
he went to see you, didn't he, Ron? He came in to see you at some point a few weeks ago.
He was here, yeah. I know, because he has the same weather as us. He's just a short drive from us in Bakersfield up in Porterville. And so when it's very hot, he likes to get out of the house and go somewhere and do something. So
Sidra,
oh my
what have you
goodness!
been working on?
Time slipped up. Who'd you ask?
I was saying Sidra. We haven't heard.
We haven't heard from
She's got
Sidra
something
today.
she's holding up.
The sweater's coming
Oh my
along.
goodness, it's beautiful.
So pretty.
That's really
Good
That
job.
is just lovely.
So I have to figure out how to do the pockets. The instructions don't make any sense to me. So it'll be fun and playing around with it. And then hopefully I'll have a sleeve done too next week. We'll see.
Is it just
And
a
then I have to
standard-
buy more yarn.
Does it have any embellishments on it, or is it just it's that plain simple
That's it.
sweater?
Yeah.
Are
They
they
have a zipper in front.
afterthought pockets? They're not knitted in as you go? Or are they knitted in?
Got the hole here.
Oh, I see. Left a hole for the pocket. Then you
Yeah,
knit
but I
it in.
don't understand. It doesn't say to pick up, or, you know, it just says continue working the front pocket or something like that.
Whoa. Hmm.
Oops.
That sounds like a pantser pattern.
Comprehensive instructions. Make a pocket.
Yeah.
I think the
I don't know.
designer was exhausted by that point.
So I will probably have to, you know, send a note because it makes no sense to me.
Is it a
You-
test or?
No, there's sponge done. But you have to bind off the back, and I think you're still knitting the front and, you know, front pieces of it. The right front and left front. But it maybe it's on a different page and they have the page ordered. I don't know. It just doesn't
Maybe
make-
there's some Ravelry notes.
I haven't done that yet. So, but there's quite a few.
What's the pattern, Sidra?
It's coastal zip up. Yeah, coastal zip up. So
How do you make those nubs? Is that the yarn or is that a,
yeah, it's a tweed.
I see.
So it's in there.
Gotcha. Very nice.
Thank you.
I love patterns.
Powdery blue color.
Yeah.
Really like.
Anybody have a last word before we go?
Stay cool.
Yes. The open window over there is not keeping me cool, so I'm going to take the sweater off any minute.
It's been a
I
long
hope I
hour.
can be around for more of the meeting next week. Not that I want to drive off any customers, but
That's right.
if you're a customer, please visit me. Otherwise, be here.
Yes,
Yeah.
but come
Meeting or no
before
meeting.
2:30 or after 3:30. Just, schedule your time better.
Yeah, browse for an hour.
Right.
That's right. Well, have a great week, everybody. And we'll see you next
Bye.
week.
Bye.
Good
Bye-bye.
to see you.
Bye.